So the first thing to do is to go over here to your settings icon and then click on drawing guide and edit drawing guide. So we're going to be creating about 10 boxes and we're going to be enlarging this grid, the 2D grid. So when we achieve our 10 boxes, we'll then move over to creating the fashion templates. So we're creating the 10 head croquis here. After this, you draw a straight line. You create another layer for this. So I go over to the technical pen and then just draw a straight line down. After drawing the straight line down, I'm going to be dividing this line into 10 different boxes, like 10 different places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And after confirming that there are 10 different boxes, I'll be drawing lines to divide this vertical line we have. I'll be drawing those horizontal lines to divide this vertical line, and I'll be drawing a total of 10 lines. So yes, you're going to repeat this process. It's because I don't want to draw the lines over and over, so I'm just duplicating this as layers. So after this, I'm going to merge down all the lines together, the layers together, and then reduce the opacity. So after reducing the opacity on this layer, I'm going to go over to settings and edit the drawing guide. Now I'm going to put it on symmetry, the symmetry option instead of the 2 grid, the same way we did initially, and then make sure the guide option is on vertical to achieve a vertical symmetry. So over here, I'm going to create a new layer to start the process, and here I'm going to be labeling the lines from 0 to 10. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this numbering is just going to help us or help beginners know exactly where the bust would be, the line where the waist would be, the line where the hip would be, and so on and so forth, to make it much more easier. So for the bust, it's on 2, the waist is on 3, the hip is on 4, the crotch area I put it around 4.5, that's between 4 and 5, line 4 and 5. Then between 0 and 1 we have the head also, and between like a quarter or an half of 1 and 2, line 1 and 2, we have the shoulder. That's why I wrote down SH. And on 5 we have the finger tip of the hand, so where the hand ends basically. Between 6 and 7 we have the knee. Between 6 and 7 we have the knee. On 9 we have the ankle. And so this names I'm putting down is just going to show like places while you're drawing yours, places you would have those features or those features on basically. After doing this, I reduce the opacity of everything I wrote down, and I will start with drawing the head. So as you can see that when I draw on the right side, it's the same thing that happens on the left side. Whatsoever I draw on the right side is replicated on the left side. This is because I already switched on the drawing guide and I moved it from the 2D grid to the symmetrical grid, to the symmetrical option, and so vertical symmetrical option. And so whatever I draw on the right side is going to be the same thing. It's going to be replicated on the left side. So this, if you can see what I'm doing, I'm drawing out the shapes. I'm drawing out the shapes first of the croquis. I drew the bust in as a form of circle, then I drew the shoulder, I drew the hip side, and now drawing the knee cap. I'm drawing the knee cap and I'm drawing the ankles also, and so you can just replicate everything I'm doing here. I'm just drawing the basis of the figure now. That's what I'm doing. And here we have the foot. As you see, it's coming out well, it's coming out fine. And so we move over to drawing the hands, like the shape of the hands now. And then I'll start with the elbow on 3, and the wrist side, or where the hand is ending, where the fingers are going to end. Like I said, the fingertip ends on 5. That's how I do it. Now forming out the lines that link the elbow to the wrist and to the hands, like that, just as I'm doing. And you notice, if you make any mistake, you can just tap on your screen with your 2 fingers as I'm doing. And don't beat yourself up if you're not getting the lines smoothly at first, especially if you're a beginner. It will take some time. Even as I practice a lot, I'm still getting better and still learning, still in the learning phase. So just take your time to draw out the features, the body features nicely. And of course, with much practice, you'd become better. With illustrations. So yes, after doing all of this, I'm going to reduce the opacity. This is how the feature looks like. So I'm going to be fleshing out these structures. You see, they look somewhat edgy and, represented by geometrical shapes and all of that. So here I'm going to be fine-tuning it to look more fleshy, more real, like just adding some flesh, some curves here and there on the pointed edges. So yes, that's what we're going to be doing. So I'll duplicate this layer and then do that. So I duplicated the layer, and then I'm just covering the places where you somewhat see sharp edges. We're going to put in curves there. The bust, I'm going to raise it from being represented by a circular shape to more like a real bust. More like a real bust look, something like that. Yes, and basically that's what I'm doing. Yeah, working on the shoulder, and then I'll work on the neckline also to curve that sharp edge and just define the half length, the waist somehow, but it's not compulsory. You can edit that and leave that out. Now I'm erasing the circles, the shapes I drew initially, and just fine-tuning the whole look. So you can zoom in and just draw out some features and define the features more. I drew her hairs also, so you can just work on this as you please. And also, one other thing that will help a lot is looking at reference pictures on how the actual body figure looks like, just to practice and become better with the illustrations. Yes, so this is the final look. Now we can add or draw the hair. Also, just something basic, a bit wavy, long hair, just to make her look more feminine. So here's the old look. Now over to the foot. We can zoom in and then just add small lines to define the toenails, the toes, and make it look more realistic, like I have. So guys, this is how to draw the female fashion template. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe and leave a like or comment if you have any questions. Thank you.